Hi, welcome to My Life, and we are My Life Part 2. I'm Terry Stiles, and we're with Jack Curtis. And Jack, I'm going to give a little run through in case somebody missed the first part.
Okay.
We talked about your upbringing, which was wonderful. It's the kick the can and stay out as late as you can, and graduated from Cousino in Warren. Ended up working for GM.
Yes.
Traveled to Utah and Colorado with GM, became a representative at their dealerships, kind of a liaison, right?
Between the customers, between the dealers, and between the factory.
Right.
Yes.
And then we ended up talking about your kids and your
Yep.
youngest,
Bradley.
Bradley, right.
And his wife Taylor, and our newest grandson Miles.
Miles, what a great name for
Yeah.
a grandson, and he's about 6 weeks old.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right now he's
and
6
everybody's
weeks old.
healthy and happy and
Everybody is. Yes.
good. And are they living in this area?
They
What's
live in Rochester.
Oh, they
just,
do?
Bought a home in Rochester.
Very
yes.
good.
Right there about Tinkin and Rochester Road. Exactly.
And he works for an advertising company.
Yes, he does. He's an advertising. I call him the executive, and give him
Okay,
a big
yeah,
title.
sure,
but,
right.
He handles
He deserves
part
it.
of the Cadillac account.
That's fabulous.
Buying and figuring out what they want to do to advertise on television,
Sure.
internet. And I heard him last week talking about the Super Bowl and buying time, and that's very interesting.
Nice, yeah, that's fun.
So
Yeah.
all 4 of our kids are in different fields, totally different fields, and totally different colleges, and it's
I bet that
kinda
makes
cool.
for interesting conversation around the dinner table when you can do that again.
Oh, I've had chances to talk to my son who's fired AMRAAM missiles off of a F-15 over the Gulf of Mexico. I've had my son in a test vehicle where he had to kick the window out because he was doing StabiliTrak. And then I have one that's traveled, in Chicago and ran a bowling alley entertainment
Yeah,
center
yeah,
where you
in
meet all
Brunswick.
the different people.
Bigwigs.
There's a boat off a Navy pier that she even had part of the Brunswick group, and it was
Wow.
it was fantastic to
Yeah.
meet all the people that you run into. And Bradley, he's just working today with some of the people that I retired with or from that are still
Oh.
working. Advertising people at General Motors will click on Facebook and say, "How do you know Jack Curtis?" And we laugh. It's such
We
a
know each
small
other
world.
pretty well.
Yeah.
It is a small world.
Yeah.
Boy, when you get on Facebook, it's a really small
Oh,
world,
it
isn't
is.
it?
It is very
well,
small.
and even you and I mean,
Yes.
we're from different parts of
And look how we
Michigan,
found out
and
we
we
both
know
had
so many.
Warren.
Yeah.
And look how we found out we know of somebody in your neighborhood.
In Clarkston,
that I
in
work
the
with.
neighborhood, and my
Exactly.
husband's old boss, and it's
Exactly.
just amazing. Facebook is wonderful. It's a really wonderful tool, and then other times, like I've sworn off it right now.
Oh, I know. It's like poison and it's like
It is.
medicine.
It is.
It's all in what you want to.
Yeah. It is helpful.
Abide
So
in.
what I have seen, and this will relate to your new job, and we're going to talk about that.
Sure.
I have seen community members express concerns about what's going on in our community, and that gives us an opportunity at OCTV to address it, or maybe correct some information that's not quite right. But it also gives you an opportunity to do your job or more informed. So let's talk about, you started out getting involved in the community on the Planning Commission,
On the
and I
Planning
think that was
Commission.
about the same time I was on the Village Planning Commission.
I think it was.
So first of all, what makes you want to dedicate your time like that? It's volunteer, and
It
it's a
is.
thankless job. I was on the Planning Commission, DDA, the Village Council,
yeah.
other committees. I'm on a couple now. It's a thankless job, really. I mean, people just don't even, they see you and go, let me complain about this, rather than understanding that you're there for a reason. What
Yeah.
makes you do it?
I like to break down barriers. I like to get things
Yeah.
through. When people say we can't do that, I always had a saying, and it's kind of tough to say it, but I used to kind of like nudge my kids if they said can't. And,
Oh, yeah, right.
You
Yeah.
can just about do anything.
There's got to be a way around
There's
it.
got to be a way. Bum Phillips Houston Oilers said, I made it to the door this year. Next year I'm going to kick it down.
Yeah, I love that.
It just, you have to keep going. You have to keep going. And you have to keep going for the right reason.
Right.
You don't keep going for a selfless reason for yourself to have self-gain. It's for the community.
And you're not gaining that much self-gain if you're putting that kind of time into it. Those meetings are long, the reading is immense. How are you gaining?
Exactly.
It's everybody that does this, they're doing it for a bigger reason.
The bigger reason is to give back to the community. I work with Tim Throne, well, not since COVID now.
Yeah,
I've talked to him. We can't go to lunch. I used to go to lunch with him.
Good guy. Yep.
Talk to him about what's needed in the community as far as like vocational
Votex,
education.
sure, right.
I worked with Lisa Butts and Akti Mevin. Forgive me, Akti.
I don't know who that Lisa is.
They do the, it's called the Career Technical Education.
Oh, yeah. I know which one it is. Yep.
Where they have a group of programs where they try to steer kids into these.
Yeah, I sat at their breakfasts.
Yes.
They've had a couple breakfasts, right.
And they interact with all the business people that want to volunteer their time and come in and tell students what jobs are out there.
Yeah.
I've always, fortunately, my children all went to very nice colleges, but we can't forget about the kids that really shouldn't be going to college.
Right.
I know guys and kids today that are making more money than some college graduates, but the biggest thing is they don't have a college debt.
Yeah.
And they look over and they say, boy, if I owed $60,000 in tuition reimbursement, I couldn't do it.
Make it. Yep.
You can't make it.
Yeah, a lot of kids are still suffering that.
I look for those kids, those opportunities, people that may want to go to college, get a business degree, but learn a trade.
Yeah.
Become an independent business person.
Oh, yeah.
Own your own plumbing, own your own electrical.
We still need those people.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. I can name a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
We need them desperately in every single community. It's not just a community. So you started out volunteering to the Planning Commission. Where did it go from there for you?
I saw an opportunity to be elected or to throw my name into the election for Township Trustee, and working on many of the committees had taught me the different avenues or venues that the government has to do for our people.
Or responsible for, yeah.
Exactly. So I started going on those committees. Then I put my name in the hat in 2012 to be an elected official, a Township Trustee. The biggest job of a trustee is to be fiduciarily responsible with the tax monies collected and sit on different committees that steered where those funds were spent and make sure action was taken.
And we're going to talk about what action you were able to take and what committees you were on when we come back. So don't go away. Jack still has a big story to tell. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to My Life. I'm Terry Stiles, and I'm still with Jack Curtis, and we haven't even really touched what he's doing now, the surface of what he's doing now. So we were talking about how you got involved, and that was through Bill Dunn.
Yes.
I want to say roping you into it, but
yeah.
I've been involved in the community, and it's a rewarding experience. It really is. I mean, just to know that you're not part of the problem, but you're part of the solution.
Exactly.
You ended up getting on the board of trustees for the Township of Oxford. I want to clarify that because we also have a viewing area of Addison Township and Leonard in the village of Oxford. So from there, what happened? You're also on other boards, right? Or you went to other boards?
I was on many boards.
Okay.
As the Board of Trustees, we have liaisons. So I sat on the Village Planning Commission in Oxford for several years, and I believe we did a great job. All the folks that volunteer their time there. It's volunteering back into the community. at some levels, you get paid for a meeting, but let me tell you, the time away from your family, it's not very much, and
Right.
the preparation
Right.
that should be done before the meeting.
Absolutely. I've always
Should be
said
done.
I can't tolerate, I don't have a lot of forgiveness for somebody that's sitting on a board going, well, I really haven't read that in my packet yet. Why are you there? And I know that you have read packet after packet after packet.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And it's always, I like to look at the problem and come with a solution.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, we can all sit and whine and talk about the problem, talk about the problem. But if you come with a solution, even if it's not implemented,
Right.
sometimes it can solve a different problem.
Get you over that hurdle. anyhow.
Exactly,
Yeah.
or get you over the hurdle of the problem and opens up people's thought processes to think, well, that may be, and here, let's go and let's
Yeah,
implement and
right.
do. One of the things that I do is, I don't like to do maintenance. I don't like to stamp this and look at that
Oh,
and
yeah,
stamp.
yeah,
I like to get out in front of things, see a problem, avoid a problem, solve a problem. I love when people come to me with a solution. I entertain people that come to me with a problem. And by that I mean, I have to listen.
You got to hear it.
I have to react and I have to do. So I would rather them come to me and say, I have a problem and this is what I think would be solving it. But if you don't, you come to me
opening
with a
up a
problem, it's
dialogue.
going to take a little longer and we have to get more people involved. And I grab the steering wheel of that ship and I try to go through the water to get to the end resolution for a solution. Yeah.
And you've been on the Economic Committee,
Economic
right?
Development
Development, and you've found some solutions to get some
one of the best ones-
businesses in here.
Exactly. One of the best ones to talk about, Terry, is we had a zoning ordinance that said you couldn't have a dance studio in the zoning of C2. And at the time, we had a lot of businesses evacuating the buildings, gone,
Right.
and a few dance.
Well, an
and
example of C2, what area would that be in?
Commercial 2 is an area that's the
Like
heaviest.
up on Oakwood and...
Well, no, it can be anywhere. In the village has it, the township has it. The perfect example
Industrial
is
Drive.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
You can have drive-throughs, Tractor Supply outside.
Oh, yeah, right.
Stuff going on there. But you wouldn't allow a couple of, and I'm going to say this just like I normally would, you wouldn't allow a couple moms who invested all this money in dance mats, rails, mirrors, to hold a
Tutus,
dance
yeah.
studio class. You wouldn't allow it in C2. And Mike Spiz and Todd Bell at the time and myself thought, this is ludicrous. You have landlords that don't have anybody going in there, but you have a mom who has no more money to spend.
And needs a place.
Would have to put $6,000 up to have a special land use in the C2 to have a dance studio. That to us, we thought was bad. We ran it through. We got the ordinance changed.
Great.
Now
Beautiful.
at the time, I think we filled in 3 buildings with dance studios,
Wow.
karate studios.
Sure,
Because of
right.
the fact that we changed the ordinance.
Beautiful.
Not all.
And they do need to be changed from time to time. They do
They
need
do.
to be flexible. They're not written in stone.
Things come up,
But
the
people have to
environment
listen.
changes, the economy changes.
right.
We have to review these
Right.
ordinances and look at it.
And you need a board that will listen.
Yes.
I've been on boards and I've seen boards that are like, nope, this is the ordinance and this is how it's going to be.
Yeah, and you
No,
have to be
you can't do that.
persuasive and understand each one of those board members' negativity towards it.
Oh, sure,
and
right.
turn that into a positive.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
tough to
Not
say
easy.
to somebody, I don't like that. Well, why? And then it's why.
Yeah.
And then it's
Yeah.
why.
And then
And
listen.
finally, they run out of blocks to build that wall with,
Sure.
and they have to crash.
Sure.
And common sense, facts and data. In reality, you don't want to prevent somebody from doing something just because.
Because the ordinance
Because
says that.
we've always done it that way.
Yeah.
If you always do what you always did, you always get what you always got.
That's true.
So the times change.
Yeah.
We don't need to get what we got. We need to get something else. So those are kind of the things. Removing obstacles for
Nice.
businesses in the right way.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so
Fun.
that was a function of both you as a trustee and on the Economic Development Committee. So what projects are you proudest about on the Economic Development Committee?
Well, the ordinance reviews are the biggest thing. You look at what I call myself a common person. I'm
Right.
not, if I want to start a business and I can't do it here because this, why? You ask yourself why. And the thing I'm proudest of is being able to remove some of those
Nice.
ordinances that hinder the smaller person like ourselves. You know,
Very
it's
good.
not, I'm not a big conglomerate coming here demanding
Corporate guy.
change. I'm a local shop, a local business. You know, you could take Dr. Bell's veterinary clinic. They were forced up against MDOT that
yeah.
said, you have to have an easement here and you can't have this. We went through all of the safety engineers. Then we moved up to the safety engineer's boss. Then
Beautiful.
we moved up to the director.
Nice.
And finally, I had Jim Marlowe and I were at Lansing
my
with
goodness.
MDOT, and we overrode
Nice.
that policy.
Oh, beautiful.
We just did the same thing with Andrews at Culver's.
Oh, yeah.
The construction is just finished on 24 to the north of town. In the future, the next 5-year plan is we're developing the reconstruction or finishing or fixing M24 north to the
Nice.
township line. Well, here's a guy who has, at the 9th hour, has all of their money out in a loan to build the building. They go to pull the permit, and a safety engineer said, you need to install a $125,000 decel lane.
Wow.
Well, it's in the policy book, that's what you do. It's in the ordinance, the state ordinance, that's what you do.
Wow.
So we started again. We started at the bottom, got right up to the point where John Riley and
Nice.
I are talking
Very
to the
nice.
people in Lansing,
Yeah.
MDOT Executive Director, and they understand now, yes, we're gonna be tearing this all up. Why would you do that?
Put a decel in and then have it torn
Have
up
it
next
torn
year.
up again.
Yeah,
So
that doesn't make sense.
those accomplishments like
Oh,
that.
sorry.
Hey,
My phone.
I know I get those too, and my phone starts vibrating. But it's all in reactive time too. You know, you have to be available to help these people.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
mind you, I can get a call at 9 o'clock at night, and it's not real nice, but I still take it because I want to be involved. I want to help. Somebody wants to help. Somebody wants to be involved, and that does make a difference.
Oh, it sure does.
Don't-
And it makes a difference for the entire community. You want to live in a community that you've got somebody's ear.
I'm not gaining anything personally,
No.
but the community is going to
Yep.
be better
Agreed.
off. Is it a problem? Yes, because somebody didn't address it.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yep.
If you get it, you address it, you can remove that problem. It
Yeah,
becomes
go
a
on to
win
the
for
next.
Oxford.
I agree. Another win for Oxford. And we're going to wrap up our next segment with Jack on his current job. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
What if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, local politics, a mayor, city council, stuff that affects me every day? How about health? Who's covering things that endanger my family? I need to know now, as it happens, from sources I trust, people in my community. No agenda, no bias like you find on cable and social media. Just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local station. Text TV to 52886 today.
Hi, welcome back to My Life. I'm Terry Stiles, and I'm still with Jack Curtis. I could sit and talk to you for days on end. This is our last segment, and I just hate that, but I want to get to this last election that we just had in
Yes.
our community.
Yes.
You ended up being Township Supervisor,
Yes.
so you have been on boards in the community for several years. Can I say 9 or 10? Even more?
As an elected official, 8. As
Okay.
an appointed official, about 15.
So you know what you're talking about when it comes to the community. You've seen some of the ups and downs, and in my mind, I think the community is so stable. I think it's a really stable municipality running the community, and I hate the word running, but guiding the community. I think the boards are wonderful. I think you guys have done a good job, so let me say that. So here you are,
Yes.
your first month of Township Supervisor.
Yes.
Bill retired by choice. Fortunately, you won that election. You really didn't have any opposition.
I ran
but-
unopposed.
Unopposed, but
Yes.
I think that, well, anyhow, that's my opinion, and I'm not going to do that. So, you've been into it. You knew what you were getting into. You hit the ground running. What is going to be your first biggest hurdle, do you think?
The first biggest hurdle...
And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. The first biggest hurdle is having everybody understand that integrity is the biggest part of our job. The biggest part of our job is to serve the customers who pay our salary.
The taxpayer.
Okay, the
Yeah.
taxpayer. While we are, the operating expense for the township is 0.93 of a mill, there is still 38 mills out there, 38.5 mills out there
Yeah.
that have to be expended through police protection, fire protection, libraries.
Maintenance, yeah.
The Oakland County Schools, the Oakland County Road Commission, all of these things that we don't have direct impact on,
Oh, true.
we
yeah.
have to monitor and apply our needs and wants to them so that they spend our money correctly.
Right.
So back to our 0.9.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I've just never have looked at it in that term.
It is, because somebody will come up and say, oh, my taxes are so high. Well, we have premier schools.
Yep.
I always call them in economic development the jewels of Oxford.
Yeah, it's true.
We have a great village.
Yep.
We have the best fire department, the best police department.
Yes.
Our parks and recs.
Oh,
I
my
mentioned
goodness.
schools, let me do that again.
Yeah, schools
The
are wonderful.
schools are fantastic. We have a lot of jewels that
Yeah.
are receivers of tax money.
Yeah.
But the operating expense that we have is minuscule compared to, I have a pie chart on my desk of where the taxes go. And one of them is so skinny, you can hardly see it, and that's the operating
Wow,
expenses.
isn't that something?
It is. And the township board and the employees in the township have been very fiscally responsible.
They sure have.
We don't do something just to say we did it. We are accountable. There are reserves in our bank account. We're not close to
Yeah,
being
isn't
broke.
that something? Right.
Yeah, and that's the past board. Bill
Yep.
Dunn led the ship
Yep.
to keep it there. My job is to make sure we spend our tax dollars wisely, efficiently, and to the best. And I'll give you an example of that. We capture 3.9 mills, 3.88 mills for our sheriff department. We have a fund balance that's very good in our sheriff's department.
Nice, good.
We have not enough sheriff deputies at our substation as recommended by the FBI, as recommended by SEMCOG and the National Police Officers Association. My first day in, I looked, we have this fund balance, talking with Lieutenant Patterson. I said, what can we do to make our closure rate better? He said, well, just man the department or fee-man the department to its proper level, and we can do more proactively than reactively.
Wow.
So right now, in front of the Board of Commissioners, we have another deputy approved to come on. It won't hurt our bottom line money, but it will help the community.
Are you looking at legacy costs of that addition as well? How does that work?
On our sheriff's department, it is a contract. We pay no legacy costs.
Got it.
If you don't vote a
Interesting.
millage in, you don't have police.
Nice.
We have no cost for the car. We have no cost for
Wow.
insurance. We have no cost for retirement. We have no cost for
Wow.
bullets. We have
Good to
no
know.
cost for lawsuits. It's all in the
contract.
contract with the sheriff department.
I'm glad I asked that question. For some reason, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I might have, and it went away, but
If one of our patrol cars breaks, we have another one out there immediately. We
That's
have
nice.
command staff.
The county
in
takes
Pontiac.
care of that.
I can call the undersheriff, Mike McCabe, on my phone, and I can vent a problem, and he will respond, even if it's at midnight.
nice.
And
Yeah.
my wife looks over, what's he doing calling you this late? I said, I asked him a problem, I asked him a question. He's getting back to me, I gotta
That's
take this call.
awesome. Oh,
And, I've
yeah.
met with Sheriff Bouchard several times, and thankfully, we have the great service that we have
Yeah, we
provided
do
for the
have
money
a good service. Good
with no
service.
legacy cost.
That is nice, really nice, yeah.
Yes. Our fire department, We just passed another millage to add 5 firefighter paramedics
Yeah,
at the fire department.
Good.
Dave Creech is retiring.
Yeah.
We're out recruiting for a new fire assistant fire chief. So we have a very professional fire department.
Sure do.
I looked down yesterday, and we have like $10 million in assets that they have to monitor, wash, care, maintain, and operate to protect us.
Yeah.
All of our
And they
firefighters
do.
are required to be advanced life support. It's not just an EMS.
Yeah.
We have paramedic EMTs.
Yeah, right.
And that provides the best service to our
Sure
community.
does, yeah.
So when you look on your tax
And you know,
bill,
that affects insurance rates,
ISO
individual insurance rates, which is
ISO ratings
fabulous.
that
Your
they
ISO
come to
rating,
and
yeah.
check. They check our community.
Yeah.
And we are addressing one of the ones that degrades our ISO rating. We were bequeathed some property north of town.
So you need hydrate.
And we have to have some consideration of addressing a quicker response to the northern community.
Oh, okay.
So we're working on that.
Interesting.
We
Yeah.
now have 3 acres. We now have a thought process. We have to plan it out.
What kind of fund balance does the fire department have? Do they have an
I'll let the chief talk
excess?
about that one.
Okay.
He has a fund balance, his budget, he operates
And he's pretty good at his budget too.
very good at
Yeah.
his budget.
Yeah.
It comes in every township board meeting. If there's a change or an expenditure or an addition,
Yeah.
we discuss it. Currently, we just got several $100,000 in COVID relief money for our
Nice.
sheriff. He has hundreds of thousands of dollars received for the COVID. So being as frugal, if you will, or
Yeah, that's a
fiscally
good word. Yeah.
responsible, that is an addition to what we
Wow,
would
very
normally
good.
do. So he'll be planning out those funds.
Oh, that'll be fun to watch. That'll
Yes.
be interesting. So we're gonna have to wrap it up pretty soon, but what are you most looking forward to?
Oh, just making things keep moving, keep moving. We have obsolete buildings that we're working on a brownfield project.
Oh, good.
We're gonna bring something to town. As you know, we worked hard to get Beaumont here.
Yep.
And with the COVID and their devastating
Yeah.
loss of income,
Oh, my goodness.
that project, I don't know where it's at right now.
well.
Their attorneys and finance people say, oh, they won't even talk to us right now, so
Well, we can still dream.
yes, we can.
It's
But
not
I'll let
completely.
the cat out of the bag. Watch this January 13th Township Board meeting. We have a brownfield proposal for the McLaren building. So we are
Good.
trying to address and increase the services required. I can't listen to everybody and say, bring Panera Bread, bring a White
Yeah.
Castle, bring one of these. If you have $1
Oh, I'd
million,
be happy to get both of those though.
if you have $1 million, come to me. I can set you up with a piece of property. I can set you up
Put
with
it
the
there.
finance. I can set you up through Oakland County with all kinds of things to make it easy. But you need that person to come with
Yeah.
the money
Sure.
to make that work.
Yeah, right.
So we still are trying to attract, working closely with the MEDC, the Michigan Economic Development, and our friends at Oakland County Economic Development.
And your door's always open.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
My phone has probably got 15 messages on it because it's transferred from my desk to my phone. My emails are transferred from my desk to my phone. So I'm always accessible. If I don't get back to you, it's probably because I'm getting back to somebody else.
I know, I tried to get in touch with you this week, and that's pretty much what I knew was happening, and you did get right back with me. In 2 days, he said yes, and he was going to do this interview. He's an easy guy to get along with. Go meet him if you haven't. He's at the Oxford Township offices. Thank you for doing this with us, Jack.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you,
And
Terry.
thank you for taking on that job.
Okay, you're welcome.
Take care.